Hi, my name is Solomon Omeru, and with me is
Edidion Okonkwo.
And together we're going to be hosting this segment of the Afrocentrist podcast titled Discovery Tuesday.
It's going to be a world of discovery where we'll have fun hanging out together as we bring you insights that will inform and educate you on topical issues bordering on relationship. This will help you discover yourself and enable you make better choices as you go through your unique life experiences.
Coming to you every Tuesday at 4 p.m. GST.
Remember, self-discovery is the first step to true freedom. See you there.
Hey, welcome back again to the Afrocentrist podcast. And it's Discovery Tuesday. It's your host, Solomon, and Edidion. Hi, Edidion.
Hi, Solomon. Good to be with you again today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How's the new year going?
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. We started out on a good note, and I just hope and pray that the tempo will only get better.
Yeah, definitely going to get better. I'm quite excited about the new year. I don't know why.
Oh, you should be. You should be. It's an opportunity for new possibilities, better options, better, experiences. So you should be.
Absolutely, yeah. So today we're going to talk about how to create the change you want. A lot of people struggle with changes. Everybody wants to be a better version of themselves, and that involves changing a lot of things, creating new change, reinventing yourself, making yourself better. So we want to see how to achieve the change you want in your life. Let's start with you, Editor. What are the steps towards achieving changes? Let's go with you today.
Okay, one of them that comes to mind easily is reprogramming your mind to stay positive. This is very important because our thoughts and our actions are influenced by our feelings. So how you feel to a very large extent, influences what you do and how well you do it. The truth is this, there's negativity all around us. We live in a world where there are just so many hills in society. Bad news is actually what sells. So in the media, that's what you see. But the truth about the matter is that regardless of what happens, you can determine to stay positive. It's a reprogramming you need to do in your mind, because naturally when you see a friend and you're trying to exchange pleasantries, you're like, how are you doing? Oh, not bad. Why does it have to be not bad? Why can't you say, oh, I'm fantastic, I'm doing well? You ask somebody about their job and like, how you doing? How is work? You're like, oh, we're pushing it. Why do you have to push it? Why don't you just enjoy your job? So, it's the small things that actually do matter. So one of the ways that can help you to reprogram your mind so that you can stay positive is surrounding yourself with positive people who actually lift your spirit. Because the truth about the matter is that emotions are contagious. They are. So you have to be around people who are high-spirited, who have a positive attitude to life. That would really do help. Then another thing again you could do is don't acknowledge negative thoughts, because the truth about the matter is that those thoughts keep flying you. You have to be conscious not to acknowledge negative thoughts. When they come, you silence them, or you speak positive thoughts to counteract them. Don't acknowledge them. Don't meditate on them. Don't even give them room to thrive. Another way again that could help you stay positive is when you create and repeat positive affirmations that acknowledge the progress that you are making in the areas where you want to improve. So you have to be conscious, because the truth about the matter is that habits can only be replaced. They cannot just be done away with. You have to replace them with a negative habit, has to be replaced with a positive habit. So once you create and repeat positive affirmations, it helps you to acknowledge the progress that you're making, in the areas where you need improvement. So those are the things I believe that one can do to help you stay positive. Then for me, what really works for me is waking up every day and having to write in my journal, the gratitude journal, the things that I'm actually thankful for. So instead of worrying about what I don't have and the things that didn't go right, I set my mind on the things that are actually working for me, on the things that are the small improvements I'm making, the small light, at the end of the tunnel. It helps me, makes me happier, increases my productivity, and it helps me to sleep better at night, because whether I do it in the morning or I do it late in the night before I sleep, It helps me to put my mind on the things that are actually, that are going well for me. So keeping a gratitude journal will help you to swap complaining, for gratitude. So instead of you complaining about the things that are not going right, you choose to focus on the things that are going well. So I always try to remain optimistic by reminding myself that despite the failure in my business or whatever challenge I'm going through, I still have the support of my family and friends. I'm not homeless. I have a roof over my head. I have a job that keeps me busy and helps me to bring out my productivity. So there are always things that are going well for you. So you have to learn how to make the best out of otherwise that situation. So
yeah, it's very true. I'm a very big fan of looking inside when you talk about change. A lot of people just concentrate on the situations outside, what is around you, why you're not doing those things. I prefer looking inside, looking for reason within to find that change. So one of the points I'll give today is understanding the reason why you're going through that struggle. This is the idea. We want to create a change, or we want to change something that is not working very well. Because I don't think people want to change things that work well. You don't throw your phone away when it's working well. So you either want to change your phone when you see something better than it. Best reason to do that is understanding why you want that change. Why do I want to change this attitude? Why do I want something better? When you understand the why, it's always easy to go forward for what you want, because you know the reason why you're doing it, why you're not settled with the current situation. So one thing I advise people to do is understand why you want to do it. Do you just want to do it because everyone is doing it? Do you just want to do it because that's what is trending? Or you want to do it because it's going to create a major improvement in your life? That shifts everything. If you understand, okay, I'm doing this because it's important to me, it changes a lot of things, it improves me, then you're more incentivized to create that change. So it's very important to look inside and understand why a particular thing is not working for you.
Oh, wow, great. Okay, another one for me is, don't overcommit. Thank God for the pandemic. It made most of our meetings, our learnings, our coaching programs, to come online. So you find out that you were involved, you were so engaged, you really don't have a breathing space, a time for yourself, because you're in one meeting or the other, you're coming out of one, you're entering into another, you're submitting one, one assignments, and there's a deadline for the other one. There are just so many engagements, so many things that are fighting for your time. Like we talked about in our earlier episode about multitasking and how it actually reduces productivity in the long run. So I would, advise that in the new year, as we are trying to create a change that we really do want in our lives, we should, write out all the things that you are engaged in. Find out the things that you cannot do without, the things that you have to, the things that you might have to procrastinate. You can have to shift and take out of your schedule for this particular moment. Find out the things that are most important for you and the things that you should commit to. The reason why you should do that is so that you can give your best. Because if at the end of the day you're falling short in some of your engagements and some of your commitments, people will begin to see you as one who is not serious or who is always making excuses. So it's important that we follow through successfully, by keeping things minimal to the best of our ability so that we can commit to it. So most of the times that we set goals and we end up not accomplishing them is because there's just so much that is going to take us to accomplish that goal. So the most important thing is reduce your commitment to the ones that you can handle and be efficient and be effective at the ones that you have chosen.
Rather than concentrating on just changing situations, changing yourself helps create a paradigm shift in whatever you want to do. Changing yourself from within, refining your taste, refining the things you enjoy doing, makes it easy for you to achieve the change you want. So I would suggest that rather than concentrating on changing a particular situation, change how you feel about the situation, change how you see things. Most times, we may not be able to control the picture out there. We may not be able to control the situation out there, but you can change how you feel about the situation, how you feel about what is going on around you. And doing that changes how you see the situation. I once heard a story of two people that were raised by the same father, and their father was an alcoholic. Now, what happened was one of them gave an excuse that he's not doing fine because the father is an alcoholic, while the other one said he succeeded because the father is an alcoholic. So you find out that they both had the same reason for doing what they did, but they had different perspective of how they saw the situation. So changing your perspective towards things may be an easy way to create the change you want.
Wow, that's very insightful. Okay, another one I would like to talk about is stop comparing yourself to others. It sounds very simple, but the truth about it is that it's the root cause of dissatisfaction. It's one of the root causes of jealousy, envy, and all of that comes with that. So stop losing sleep over what others have and what you don't, over what others are, achieving and accomplishing and what you're not. Focus on your growth. Understand who you are, understand what you want, and map out a strategy, map out a way on how you accomplish your goals, and stay focused on that. Focus on improving on you, because the truth is this, there's always going to be somebody who has a better paying job. There's always going to be somebody who lives in a nicer house. There's always going to be somebody who drives a fancier car. There's always going to be somebody who goes on more exotic vacations. So comparing yourself with others just makes you miserable and unhappy. It makes you preoccupied about what others consider a success to be, instead of worrying about what you define as success. Focus on yourself, focus on your growth. What makes you a better person? What gives you that sense of fulfillment? What are the things that you can look back on and you are happy that you're doing, other than the things that you hope and pray that you wish that you were doing?
Absolutely correct. And what that entails is you've been ready to pay the price. Every change comes with a price. There's something I remember back then in high school, they teach us economics. They talk about the foregone opportunity or the foregone cost. So that's usually what you let go to get the other one. It applies in everything in life. For you to be able to wake up early and do things early, you have to let go of that early morning sleep. It doesn't mean you have to reduce the number of hours, but it has to be you letting go of the early morning sleep or letting go of watching movies late at night. Something just has to go. So if you want to get the change you desire, if you want to get that difference in life, one must be ready to pay the price, ready to let go of what it takes to get the other one. Sometimes it may be letting go of your money, putting in your money saying, I want to register for an online course. I want to pay a coach to help me do this better. I want to buy a book that can help me grow. The challenge most people have most times is they want a change so much, but they're not ready to pay the price involved in getting that change. I'll give an example. Someone wants to know more about life or wants to know more about a subject. But each time you're given a chance to choose between paying for Netflix, for example, or paying for a movie ticket to go watch a movie in the theater and buying a book, you always choose to go watch movies. You're giving up the cost of knowledge for movies. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have both of them, but if there's a chance where you have to choose one of them, you have to decide which one do you want at that moment. Do you want to be the one that gets more information through reading books, or do you want to be that person that just goes to relax and watch movies? As long as you're fine with either of them, it's okay. I'm not trying to say, no, you don't go watch movies, you have to buy books always. Now, both of them are good. Watching a movie can be one way of relaxing. Reading a book can be another way of relaxing or getting knowledge. So it depends on what you want at the moment. So it's all about putting your money where your mouth lies. So if you keep saying you want to change, you want to know more about things, put your money there, put your time there, put your effort. Look for mentors, look for coaches that can help you, but willing to leave your comfort zone and reach out for those things that will help you achieve the change you want.
Okay, That's an excellent one. Okay, finally, for me, one of the things that will help you create the change that you want is to tackle the one thing that you have been putting off. Why do you keep procrastinating on that particular task? Why are you not doing what you have set your heart to do? So, setting priorities includes making certain seemingly small tasks don't build up, as in you have to, when you have unfinished tasks, it's like you're carrying a heavy weight around with you all the time, no matter how small that task is, because you have to remember it. So it's possible. So my advice is that when you remember it, deal with it there and then. If it's something you cannot deal with, write it out in your to-do list, in your schedule for the day, because after you've listed your priorities for the day, had that chore you have to do, it gives you a sense of accomplishment, and it helps you to keep in focus the things that you ought to do. Because several times when you don't have a schedule, you end up doing frivolities, spending your time on frivolities and things that don't really add value and move you towards your goal. But when you write out your schedule and you write out the tasks that you have to do, you at the end of the day, you can see the things that you've accomplished and the things you've not, and you'll be able to fashion out how to deal with the unfinished tasks. So it's important that you write it out. If there's a phone call to be made, you write it out that, okay, I'm going to call so person by 3 p.m. It keeps it in perspective so that you don't go down on your commitments and your words become your bond. Because if you've told somebody that I'm going to call you, or a business, a call that you have to return, a business call you have to return, and you don't do that, people will tend to think you're unserious. So it helps you to keep your words and helps you to be a better person. So even as we plan to be better in the new year, it's important that we set priorities for our day, and also that we tackle the things that we have been putting off. Several times, the reason why you're putting off that thing is either because you feel that you cannot handle it, you don't have the skill that is required. Solomon talked about going for knowledge. It's very important. If that's the reason why you're putting off that particular task, then go for the knowledge that will feed you and enable you to accomplish that task. Because as long as it's a task that you have set your heart to do, that means that it's something that will move you forward towards fulfilling your goals and achieving your desire.
Yeah, that's true. It's also important to hang around people who are where you want to be, or people who are doing what you want to do. A very good example of this is something that happened recently to me. I've known about stock trading and investing for a very long time, and I kept promising myself I was going to do it. Sometimes around 2 years ago, I decided to get it on the platform. I started trading. And then somewhere along the line, the market got volatile. I just stopped trading. I forgot about it. I didn't want to go back again and check it. Although I still wanted to do it, but I just felt I just kept on procrastinating. That's the one. I'm not very proud about that. But recently, a friend of mine called me and he brought up the subject again. And he goes like, hey, I want us to start investing, just put the money there. In a very good stock, leave it for a very long time, even for years. We just keep doing this. Let's say we keep doing $100 every month. Just put it out there rather than keeping the money in the bank. And I said yes to him. Yeah, I want to do this. I like the idea. We talked about it. 2 weeks down the line, it got to the day we were supposed to, or the month we were supposed to start. I remember clearly, it came to my mind. It crossed my mind. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I procrastinated again. But a few days after I procrastinated, this friend of mine called me and said, remember I talked to you about investing? Let's start doing it now. Funny enough, he created a group, and then we're just there on that group, or we're just there on that group. And each time he wants to invest, he sends a message in the group and say, hey guys, I'm buying this stock or the other stock. Are you guys doing yours? So we start holding ourselves accountable. Now it became something I start doing easily. Why? Because my friends are doing it. It's something I want to do. There's someone reminding me to do it. So it's very important to hang around people who are doing what you want to do, who are already in the place you want to be. They help bring you up. They hold your hands while you go through the journey together. So if you want to lose weight, or if you want to be a better person, if you want to achieve something, Be around those who are doing it. If you're based and you're around people who are looking good and healthy, at some point you get forced to want to change your lifestyle, to want to get fit and be better. So the easiest way to do it is hang around people who are doing what you want to do, who are already achieving the change you want. And that's how we're going to summarize it for today. We look forward to hearing your reviews. Follow us at the Afrocentrist podcast on Instagram. Have a wonderful evening.